We are now going to look at 3 failure scenarios when trying to establish the connection in Sensacell 2 and provide some possible causes and their solutions. First, let's look at the example where there are no ports listed in the pop-up menu. First, you need to check that your USB cable is actually plugged into your computer. If you open the Sensacell software before attaching the USB adapter, it will not show up in the Open Serial Port pop-up list. Click the refresh button after inserting the USB terminal into your computer to do a fresh port scan to see if the USB adapter is recognized. If that does not work, try closing and restarting the software with the USB adapter attached. If it still doesn't work, try different USB ports. Remember to restart the program after connecting the adapter. If none of these other USB ports work either, you may have a faulty USB adapter. Try another one if you have one. Now let's look at the scenario where multiple ports are listed, but they all fail. Sometimes the first failure will prevent subsequent connections. I know in this case that COM7 is the correct port, but failed because 1 and 2 were selected first. To get more definitive information about what COM port your USB adapter has been assigned, open the Device Manager in the Control panel. It is usually found in the Hardware and Sound section. You can also type Device Manager into the Start menu search field. Open the tab for Ports and note the COM port assigned to the USB adapter. Then restart Sensacell. Select the correct port and hit Connect. If you are pretty sure you are seeing and selecting the correct port in the pop-up menu but the connection still fails, the problem is probably in the panel, not in the software or USB adapter. First, check the Device Manager as outlined in the previous section to confirm that you are selecting the right COM port in the pop-up menu. A further confirmation that you have the correct USB port and that the adapter is working correctly can be had by watching the small LED lights on the USB adapter. If the red light flashes when you click the Connect button, the adapter is sending data. It is receiving data from the Sensacell panel when the green light flashes. If you are sending data but not receiving data, in other words the panel is not responding, then first check the connection from the USB adapter to the panel. Try to connect to another module or to another open port on the same module. Also check the cable integrity. Make sure that the connector adapter is firmly attached to the DB9 terminal on the one end and the RJ45 jack is securely seated on the other. If none of that seems to be the problem, we need to take a closer look at your actual Sensacell panel. To diagnose panel configuration problems, disconnect the USB adapter from your computer, close Sensacell, and manually cycle the power on your panel. Watching the panel go through its boot up process will help diagnose any problems that relate to module defects, incorrect orientation of modules, misplaced or missing jumpers between the modules, and several other issues. There are 3 phases to the boot up sequence. The first part of the boot up sequence is the module orientation diagnostic mode. A blue line appears across the top row of all the modules, and the master tile additionally lights up, in the same blue, its middle 4 LEDs. In a correctly configured panel, the blue lines should all be oriented in the same direction, and there should only be one master tile. The next part of the boot up sequence is the jumper discovery mode. The modules show a green edge line, where they do not see a proper jumper connection to another module. On a correctly configured panel, you will see a green line around the perimeter of your panel because these are the only module edges that would not be connected to other modules. The third and last mode is the auto addressing mode, where each module displays its address by lighting up certain LEDs in a specific sequence. The important thing to watch here is simply that the panel gets through this mode and then displays the first preset. If you see any difference from the boot up routine mentioned here, see the more detailed description of how to repair or reconfigure your panel in the installation guides and tutorials on the Sensacell website.